What's up, guys? Jags Nation here to bring you another video. Today's video is going to be a quick recap of the Jaguars-Panthers game this past Sunday, and it's probably going to be like 2 or 3 minutes, and then basically just give my thoughts and just like going over the stats and score and stuff like that. So the Jaguars fall to the Panthers 34-27. The Jags are now 2-3. Panthers are now 3-2. And after the game, I was upset, but not upset because we lost, but more upset because of the defense, because the offense continued to fight down after down after down, and it's just something we never had before. Down 21-7, and just knowing that we have a quarterback that just the players trust, and that he can go down the field and bring us back, and he did. And we ended up losing 34-27, unfortunately, but majority of that was because of the defense. The defense allowed over 200 all-purpose yards to Christian McCaffrey, and Christian McCaffrey, in my opinion, is the best running back in the NFL, and honestly, I think he's a contender for MVP as of right now. So we'll see how he does later on in the season, but kudos to him. He's just balling out, and we just couldn't stop him in the passing or running game. All right, so let's talk about the Jaguars. Gardner, I thought, had a pretty good game. He was 26 for 44, 374, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I mean, for what the offensive line gave him, I thought this was a fabulous game by him. He also passed very well against the Panthers secondary, who was number one pass defense, I believe, coming into that game. Leonard Fournette started off the game slow, but got going later on. He finished 23 for 108 yards and 1 touchdown, second straight game with over 100 yards. He is now first in the AFC rushing and third in the whole NFL in rushing yards. And then receiving, DJ Chark was 8 for 164 and 2 touchdowns. The dude continues to be a monster in the passing game. Him and Gardner have like a great connection. He's also fifth in the NFL in receiving yards and number 1 in the AFC in receiving yards. And he's tied for first with 2 touchdowns in the NFL. Dede had a pretty good day, 7 for 82. And then James O'Shaughnessy was 3 for 57. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL and he's out for the year. So I mean, overall, yeah, the offense did good. The offensive line, I thought, played terrible pretty much the whole game, especially Andrew Norwell. He was one of the reasons the fumble happened, that Brian Burns returned for a touchdown. He basically got pushed right into Gardner Minshew, the ball, and Minshew fumbled it, and then Brian Burns returned it for a touchdown. The running, the O-line for the running game was decent. Like I said, they got better towards the end of the game, but pass protection, I thought it wasn't that great. Some plays they gave Minshew time, but majority of the time Minshew was either running around or had to throw the ball out really quick. So that's something we definitely need to work on, is giving Minshew more time, and then also not getting penalized. And that was another thing. We were penalized a lot this game, and that's a trend continuing game after game after game. I mean, we're averaging 8+ penalties a game, and that's not good. You're not going to win games like that. Offensive line needs to get better with the holding and illegal use of hands to the face and stuff like that. Now the defense, I thought, did not have a good game for the most part. Josh Allen had a sack. Yannick had 2 sacks and also had a forced fumble. Unfortunately, we didn't recover it. But Miles Jack, I thought, had one of his worst games he's ever had in the receiving game and in the run game, especially that one Christian McCaffrey 80+ yard touchdown run. It looked like he was wrong gap assignment, and Christian McCaffrey just went straight up the middle untouched. Trey Henry, I thought, had a pretty good game. He had an interception that barely hit the ground, so it was unfortunately called an incomplete pass, but I thought he played pretty decent. AJ Boy, I thought, had his good moments and bad moments. He did give up that one long play, but that was just one play. The safeties, I thought, played okay. Ronnie Harrison, I thought, struggled, especially in the running game. And the whole defensive line, besides the 3 sacks, I thought they were getting tore up in the run game. They just couldn't tackle, and they couldn't stop McCaffrey from getting constant 5 or 6 yards. They did have that one fourth down when the Panthers went for 4th and 1 at the 5-yard line. They did stop them, so that was 1+. But we just got to get a better job at not allowing big yardage in the run game. That's something we struggled in even in 2017 when we had a great defense. Our run defense is suspect, and it's definitely continued to where our whole defensive is suspect in the passing game also. So we definitely need to work on that, especially with the Saints coming in town. I know we can fix it, and Jags do usually have a pretty good time responding to a loss, especially the defense. So usually they tend, when they have a bad game, they usually come out and have a good game. So it's just showing inconsistency. We just need to get that games where we play 3 or 4 or 5 in a row, great games. Bad games are going to happen. I understand, you have 16 games in a season. I expect, hopefully, with the talent you have on this team, I expect for at least 11 or 12 good games from the defense, because the offense is clicking. I think the offense is ranked 6th in the NFL right now, and our defense is 24th or 25th, maybe even 27th. So that's definitely, it's not good if our offense. I'm glad our offense is ranked top 10. So I just need our defense to be maybe like 15 or 16, and I think we can compete for the division title. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tight race. The Texans won. The Colts beat the Chiefs, which was surprising. The Titans lost. So we're only one game out of first. But it's going to be a tight race coming down to the end of the season, I believe. And hopefully Gardner just keeps balling out. And, yeah, go Jags.